Okay, with that, folks, it is 3 o'clock, so I am going to start, and we're already wanting to run away. Officially, my name is Paul Rankin. I'm from FEDSAS. Welcome on board today with this session where we're going to be launching the sim4schools competition and the details with it. You'll see on top and bottom with me, I've got Michael Basson and Robert Swart. They're from Meg's app. They're going to be taking us through the process. A little bit of a background for those of you that may not know what sim4schools is. It's a project that FEDSAS has worked with Meg's app over the last year to get going. It's really designed, and out of my 10 years now that I've been with FEDSAS and longer on a governing body, it's one of those projects that a little bit of effort in the beginning, get it off the ground, it can really generate that magical passive income for schools. I suppose people would compare it to a My Schools card, but we're dealing with data, and we're using data as the vehicle to obviously provide data into the community, but also for that schools to get a benefit from that selling process. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. It is by far one of the best projects that I've seen, and hence FEDSAS have taken hands with Megs to try and get it going, get it off the ground, and we've had some good successes so far with it. It's that passive income. The reason why we're chasing that income is we all know schools are really battling to get money. We do see it across the country, no matter where you are. Very seldom do we go to a school that we've got to consult with or guide and give them advice, and they tell us they've got too much money. Schools always are short of money. They can always do with more money in the process. And if we can do it through a vehicle that's already in place, then it really works well. And that's really the background to sim4school project that's operating. Been operating since last year. We're going to be pushing it this year as well. Although we do have governing body elections and things happening, we are going to push it this year because we really believe in the project that can generate good, let's call it residual or passive income for schools. Miskien moet ek 'n bietjie Afrikaans praat, want ons het gesê ons gaan 'n bietjie van die ander taal gebruik. So my naam is Paul Rankin. Ek gaan nie die hele speel weer in Afrikaans herhaal, maar julle sal sien op ons webwerf die besonderhede van sim4schools en waar ons sit met daardie proses. En ons kan miskien direk nou oorhandig aan Robert Swart en Michael, en hulle gaan jou deurvat die kompetisie wat ons wil vandag bekendstel en dan aan die gang sit vandag. So oor na jou, Robert en Michael. Ek sal aan die kamera bly, en as daar enige vrae is, kan ons dit wel later hanteer.
Fantasties. Baie dankie, Paul. Thank you for the introduction. I'm going to jump into it immediately. So we're going to start with why launch the competition. Every student, every teacher, everyone in the community has a SIM card, they have data, and they use it. So it's a product that's always in demand. And that's why this fundraising program is going to be so successful, we believe, because everyone needs data and airtime. So firstly, why launch the competition? It helps the schools generate traction with the fundraising program. It will boost active SIM cards because more people will get excited about it, because the competition will incentivize people in the school to participate. This will boost your monthly commissions. Thirdly, it will assist the schools in penetrating communities through the sale of the sim4schools SIM cards. It will raise awareness within the community, and it will encourage involvement in fundraising for the schools. And then lastly, we believe it will build a legacy for the grade 7s and matrics when they leave the school, because you can always keep on using your SIM card, which will always help the school boost their commissions. Okay. Now, why a sim4schools SIM card? So what are the benefits of using a sim4schools SIM card? Firstly, it's the most affordable data and airtime rates on the market. So if you go look at our data rates, it's 49 Rand for 1.1 gig. If you compare it to any of the other networks, around 85 to 90 Rand for a gig that lasts 30 days. So the data is a lot more affordable. Secondly, the data and airtime doesn't expire. So we have data bundles that do expire. We do have one-day bundles, but our non-expiring bundles don't expire at all. So then you can't really compare it to a 30-day bundle because there's no expiry date to it. Thirdly, you receive free data every day. So inside the app, inside Meg's app, you can view ads, play games, or do surveys for free data every single day. And sim4schools runs on MTN's infrastructure, and MTN for the past 6 years has been tested and voted as the best mobile network provider in the country when it comes to network connectivity and download speeds, upload speeds, and all of that. So the network is in place. And then you'll earn a monthly 5% commission based on revenue generated for the month. So every time someone recharges, they buy data or airtime, the school receives 5% commission. The school earns a commission for as long as the SIM card is active in the phone, even if the learner has left the school. So even if the learner or the person that has a SIM card is not part of the school will still earn their commission. Even if they leave the school, as long as they're active on the SIM, it can be forever, it can be 10, 20 years, 30 years, the school will always earn their commission. Okay, as simple as that. And now we're going to jump with Robert and how to enter the competition.
Well, good afternoon from my side, everybody. I'm very excited to be here. Just thinking of this competition and the SIM cards. Isn't it wonderful? And I think this is the only opportunity that you have to actually earn money when people don't buy anything from you. So they'll buy their data and airtime somewhere else, not at the school, and you still earn the money and the commission on that. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. So we're launching the competition today, and the question on everybody's mind, I'm sure, is how do I enter this competition? So first of all, if you haven't signed up for sim4schools yet, you need to register for sim4schools. We sign a network agreement. The next step is to order your SIM cards. And when you receive your SIM cards, then obviously then you can start selling SIM cards because people will start buying the data and airtime and you can start earning a commission. So the next thing is now you need to enter the competition. There's a specific form that I'll show you on the next slide what it looks like, but it's a very simple form and it's just your name, surname, email address, telephone number, and then the number of grade 7s or the number of grade 12s in the school. If you're a combined school, then obviously you will have enter the number of grade 7s and number of grade 12s. If you're just a primary school, then it's just a grade 7 or secondary grade 8. But let me show you what it looks like. You can see underneath at the bottom, you will see the link, the URL to go there. So again, this is the form. As you can see, that URL will take you to this form, and you can enter the competition on this form. Again, name of the school, contact person, email address, phone number, very easy, and just the number of grade 7s or the number of grade 12 learners that's enrolled with the school. And you can do it, the number as per the end of January, just to make it simple. So that's the form, and it's very easy to enroll. And then you enroll, and then we start working together to make sure that you sell as many SIM cards as possible. Yeah, just some of the rules. Every competition has some rules to make sure that everybody understands it. First of all, you must be registered for the competition. And that is that form that we have just shown you. So when you register, fill in that form. And when you submit, it's as easy as that. You are registered. The next is you have to sell at least 5 SIM cards per grade 7 or grade 12 learner. That is that we make it a grade 12 or grade 7 project, because that is the guys that's going to leave at the end of the year. And what a great opportunity for them is to leave this legacy. It's not just a legacy that gives back funds to the school, but it will give funds year after year and month after month. So it's a great opportunity to actually make it a grade 7 or grade 12 project this year. The average monthly spend per SIM card must be 150 or more. That is, every active SIM card what do they spend on average per month? Currently, we're more actually between 200 and 300 revenue per month per a user of the SIM card. Then how do you define an active SIM card? Active SIM card is basically, it's a SIM card, it's recut, it's in your phone, and you had topped up with airtime or data at least once during this period. Then that will be an active SIM card. The competition will run until the 31st of October. Payouts and prizes will be paid in the beginning of November. So there's lots of time for you to generate and sell all your SIM cards, get the people going, get the community going, and then earn a huge prize in November. Now the big question is, what can you win? As you know, sim4schools pays a monthly commission of 5% on all the revenue generated during a specific month. So if, let's say, the revenue generated on data sales and airtime sales is 100,000 Rand for the month, then you will earn 5,000 Rand for that month. But the good thing is, next month, those people will again buy data and airtime, so it's another 100,000, and maybe you sold a couple of more SIM cards, and then that will be more than that. And so you steadily increase your commission every month. But this is where the kicker is. Yeah. So the normal, if you're part of the sim4schools program, you earn 5% every month on the airtime and data that was purchased for all the SIM cards that were sold by your school. So all the SIM cards are linked to your school, and then those revenue that is generated on that SIM card goes back 5% to your school, month in, month out. But for this program, during October, whatever that revenue is during October, we will pay you 5 times, 25% of that revenue. So you won't earn 5% commission, but you will earn 25% commission for the revenue that was generated during October. So as the example I've mentioned, if the revenue was 100,000 Rand per month, your 5% is 5,000 Rand. And if the revenue during October is still 100,000, your revenue commission earned for October will be 25,000 Rand. And then over and above that, there's additional bonus prizes. For the first prize, the top performing school will earn 40,000 Rand. The second prize is 25,000 Rand. The third prize is 15,000 Rand. So every school that signs up for this competition is a winner. Even if you don't get one of the 3 prizes at the end of the competition, you still earn your 25% commission during October. And that is a bargain. So even the smallest schools can win. So how do we decide on the bonus prizes? It's very easy. It's the number of grade 7s or grade 12s that you listed in the form. We're going to take all the SIM cards that the school has sold, and we're going to divide that during that number of grade 7s or grade 12s. So if the number of grade 12s is, let's say, 100, and they sold their 5 SIM cards per grade 12 member, then they have sold 500 SIM cards. We divide that by the number of grade 12s, which is 100. So the average for each grade 12 learner for that example is 5. If a small school only have 50 grade 12 and they sell 500 SIM cards, we divided the 500 SIM cards divided by the 50, and they will have, that was equal to 10. So the smaller school, they sold more SIM cards per grade 12 or per grade 7, they will be the top performer. So even if you're a very small school and put in the effort, you can still win the top prize for this competition, which is payable then during November. So let's give you a couple of examples just to make it real. So if, for instance, a school sold 500 SIM cards, the revenue generated, if the average is 150 Rand per user, the revenue for that month will be 75,000 Rand. Your 25% commission for October will be 18,750. If it's active SIM cards are 750. You have generated 112,000 if the average is 150, and your 25% commission will be 28,000. So similar to 1,000 SIM cards sold, it will be 37,000, and I think you can agree this is becoming very substantial. So just putting a little bit of effort initially, then you can actually generate and get your prize. And it's not one or two schools that will get the 25%. If you generate and sell 5 SIM cards per grade 12 or grade 7, and your average is 150, you will earn money at 25% for commission on your October revenue. If a school, let's take it to 10,000, you really work hard, you get your community involved, then I see that, can you hear me? Okay, then the revenue is at 1.5 million, and your 25% price at the end of October will be 375,000. Now, here's another kicker. We talk about average spend per user of 150 Rand per month, but currently it's between 50 and 200 and 300 Rand per user. To make the calculations easy, let's say the average spend is 300 Rand per user, then this doubles. If you have 500 SIM cards, you haven't sold any more SIM cards than 500. Instead of getting 18,750, you will get 37,000 Rand 500. That is just the change in the number of user spend without you having to sell any more SIM cards. So even with an average spend, you can actually make a lot of money during this competition. So the question is, that sounds just, how do I get 1,000 SIM cards or 10,000 or 500? How easy is and possible is it to achieve that? So first of all, we said, make this a grade 7 or grade 12 project. Make somebody responsible in those groups. If you decide you want to make your grade 11s responsible for, that is fine. But just make somebody responsible and to use this project to generate funds for the school. If it's the grade 12s and grade 7s, what a wonderful opportunity for them. It's a gift that keeps on giving. They may be into university or working 10 years after leaving the school, and those SIM cards still generate money for the school. And that funds, the monthly commission, keeps on growing and growing and growing. So how do you do this? Communicate and make this visible wherever you can. And on every notice board in the school, have a flyer making people notice that this is a competition. Buy their SIM cards today. And with that, we will help you as well. There's a lot of marketing material that Michal already has generated that's available to all the schools. You put it on a Google Drive, and you can use that. And if you need something for us to help you, just ask us. We will, Michal and his marketing team will for sure help you in generating those marketing material, so you can be as present and noticeable throughout your school and community. Engage specific learners in your school, the influencers. That's the head boy, the head girl, the captain of the first rugby team, of the first hockey team, of the first cricket team, all the people, that's the popular people within the school. Engage them to take selfies, put reels on Facebook or whatever social media, because all the learners have social media and they post on their own social media. If you have WhatsApp groups within the school, post those selfies from the learners into those WhatsApp groups, onto Facebook, onto Instagram, and get the people involved. This is the one key thing that we found to make this project a success. And that is your ability to engage the community, the ability to engage the parents, and ability to engage the students, for them to become involved and be part of this program. You can even have competitions between the grades in your school and see which grade has solved the most sims during a specific period. And then involve your parents, especially in the primary schools. I know this learners is not going to take to the streets and sell SIM cards, but there's normally a parent or fundraising committee that's responsible for fundraising projects during the year at the school. Make this one of their projects. Let's keep on going and continuing throughout the year. If there's a project for some athletics, or you've got a review at the school, make them responsible and make this part of your marketing campaign to do that. Get the parents involved. The parents who owns businesses, get them involved to sell SIM cards to their staff. If they have a management position, ask them to get and promote the sim4schools SIM card within the companies. And that will earn the money for the school. The thing is with the community, the more they get involved with the school, the more money they assist in the fundraising for the school. The school then use that money to either better their education, get better infrastructure. And at the end, we know that 50% of the learners normally stay in and around school for probably most of their life. And they will go back to the business community having a positive impact through this funds that's been raised by sim4schools and then giving back to the community. Selling SIM cards to your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, other friends, family members, it saves them money and it supports the school. This is the easy. Remember, for each grade 12 learner, they only have to, the average needs to be 5 or more. So if you only sell to your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your siblings, and everybody else, there's your 5 already sold by getting the community and the families involved in all of this. Don't just look at the sim4schools project and that you need to sell it to the learners. There's a huge community out there that you can leverage on. If it's a farmer, get the farmer to sell it to all his farm workers. So there's a lot of opportunities that's out there in terms of just thinking a little bit out of the box, and we get them involved. Obviously, we want to support you as much as possible. We know sometimes, especially initially, it can look like a huge black box and a hill that you need to climb that you don't know whether you've got the energy to do that. We're there to help you. So we're going to have bi-weekly live QA sessions to answer all your questions. We're going to teach you something maybe around marketing. Maybe some of the schools don't have a marketing person. And so how do we do it? Where do we start? We're going to create all the marketing material for you. If you want to post on Facebook, we will give you Facebook posts. If you want to use something on WhatsApp, we will give you a post or an image for WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever you need. And if it's not there, tell us what you need. Also, during this Q&A sessions is an opportunity for the schools to also tell each other what works and doesn't work if you're comfortable with it. Sometimes it's 2 schools at the same town, and you don't want to tell your competition about what you're doing and why you're successful. That's fine as well. But let's use this opportunity and this forum that we create every 2 weeks to really get going and make sure that we push this and be successful, all of us together. Then again, we just want to iterate, make this and identify a specific person or group. And this doesn't have to be the teacher. We know teachers carry a burden in terms of work that they need to do that it's unbearable. That we know. That's why we say, get the parents involved, get the students involved. We want the teacher or a person from the school only to monitor this. Maybe initially just to get everything on the ground is a little bit of work, but then it's a monitoring position that you carry, and the people need to to start come up with ideas themselves as well. And once it's working, you're going to see that the SIM card sales is actually going to fly. There's a point that everything all of a sudden kicks in and it's working. So maybe you have a couple of questions. So we thought of 3 questions that you may have, and maybe we can answer some of the questions that you already have. Question number 1. We have already active SIM cards. Do they count towards the number of SIM cards sold for the competition? Yes. All the SIM cards, there are schools that registered for this program already, that they have been selling SIM cards for some time. Most of them have just started just before the exam, so that they didn't have really the opportunity to sell SIM cards. So what we've looked at the numbers, and we've identified just that the numbers and the SIM cards that's already been sold does not impact this competition. It doesn't give them a real opportunity in terms of the number of SIM cards that they know far ahead and they're going to win the top prize. Not at all. However, as early adopters, they've already done the training. They've already gone through the experience of how to sell a SIM card, how to activate people, and use the data and airtime on it. So that's the experience that they've already, and we can't take that away from them. So that will help them, but it's also just a short term. If you sign up today or in February, then you will very easily get the same experience and ability to sell SIM cards. So it's yes, it is a little bit of advantage to them, but only short term. So let's get to question 2. The question is, will the school still receive the 5% commission during the period of the competition? The competition, I mean, it's now already February tomorrow. It ends in October. During this time, you will earn your 5% commission. So if you have sold 100 SIM cards in February or March, then whatever the revenue is that's generated from that through airtime and data sales, you will earn your 5% commission. So that doesn't go away. The only thing that changes is instead of earning a 5% commission in October, you will receive a 25% commission for your revenue based on the revenue that's generated in October. The third question, will SIM card sales by anyone other than a grade 7 or grade 12 learner count towards the number of active SIM cards? Yes, absolutely. So we're not only counting the number of SIM cards sold by the grade 12s or the grade 7s, but everybody in the school. If it's a grade 8 learner that sells SIM cards, or maybe a grade 10 learner who's got his parents involved, they've got a business and they sold it to all their workers, every SIM card that's sold and it's active will count towards the number of SIM cards sold for the competition. But we're not expecting 5 SIM card sales per every learner in the school. That number of 5 SIM cards is only based on the number of grade 12 learners that you have in the school. So that should be very easy. So if you have equal number of learners in every grade, then if all the learners buys a SIM card and activates a SIM card, you've got your 5 per grade 12 learner. So I think that's the end of the 3 questions. Paul?
Bye, donkey. Thanks, Robert. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You'll see that our CEO has dropped in the Q&A box a message. You can raise funds without selling pancakes, and I think that's really what we're looking at. We already buying data, folks. We're buying a lot of data. We're buying data all the time for all ages. So get into the process and run it through from there. There are a few questions in the Q&A box, and maybe Michael and Robert, if you wouldn't mind just having a look at those. I just had an idea while we were going through this process. Folks, please type in questions if you've got questions. We'll handle the questions as they come through. We are going to drop some links into the chat box, but we don't want to distract you from looking at what the questions are. We'll be sending you a link on the registration process. So if those of you that aren't involved in Sim4schools yet, the registration process and the details, they are on our website, and they're also on all our signatures that come out from our provincial managers, but we will send you that link. And then importantly, we'll send you the competition registration link as well. For those of you schools that are already signed up with Sim4schools, it is important to register in that process. We're just looking for the numbers in grade 7 and grade 12. But what I thought about while we were talking about it, I thought, let me see if I can't get Liesel Storm on board. She's from Mpumalanga. She's our provincial manager in Mpumalanga. And I'm going to ask her, we'll see if she responds. Miskien moet ek vir haar eers sê, Liesel, jy is welkom om Afrikaans te praat as jy inkom. So I'm going to ask Liesel to come in and just to give us a bit of her experience with the project, where she's been involved in the ground. I'm just moving her from the attendees list, from the attendees list to the panelists. So she should be coming through shortly. And then I'm going to just ask her to open her camera and just give us a brief few words about, what your experience was, maybe a few of the challenges. We know there are challenges in the process. So, Liesel, thank you very much. I know it is short notice. Please don't panic, okay? But I thought, while I saw you in the audience, let me bring you on board from that. So, Liesel, jy is welkom om Afrikaans te praat. Laat ons weet, hoe gaan dit daar in Mpumalanga? Hoe werk die proses? Wat is die suksesverhale? Waar is die bietjie hurkplekke wat jy moet bietjie deurwerk? Let us know about it.
Paul, dink jy hier in Mpumalanga kan ons nie Engels praat nie?
Oh, whoa!
Just checking. I must say all the schools that I talked to are so positive about the project. I think I also want to reiterate the pancake, jy weet, ek het 'n hele reeks kinders, ek's nou by my derde een, 2 kinders is nou uit die skool uit en kyk, daai koekverkopings, nê? Dit is 'n storie. So jy spandeer baie meer geld om daai koekies te bak en te verkoop by die skool as wat 'n mens inkry. So ek weet elke skool het altyd fondse nodig en fondsinsamelings is altyd moeilik. Waar ek dink wat so great is van hierdie projek is jy gaan nie sukkel om iets te verkoop aan iemand nie, want dit is iets wat mense in elk geval gebruik. So jy gee vir hulle net 'n beter produk teen 'n beter prys en die aanvraag is klaar daar. So jy gaan die mense moet smeek om goed te koop wat hulle nie eintlik wil hê nie. Everywhere that I talk to schools, they're really very positive about it, and they can definitely see the potential. But there are obstacles. And I think the take-on rate is a bit slower than what I would hope, because they seem so positive and everyone, there's quick buy-in, but they just struggle to start. En ek het verskillende teorieë oor dit. Ek dink onderwysers is regtig baie besig. Ek dink Robert het dit ook genoem. Personeel by 'n skool is verskriklik besig met verskillende goed. So die intensie is daar. Almal wil join en almal wil begin. Die intensie is daar. Maar die dilemma is 'n intensie sonder aksie gaan jou nêrens bring nie. So ek dink dis daai stappie wat ons net moet vorentoe neem. En ek dink Robert het dit so mooi geantwoord ook, dat skole kan verstaan dat daar hulle maak dit eintlik vir skole so maklik. Hulle gaan hulle help. Ons vat hulle regtig by die hand en ons gee struktuur. So I think what's really important firstly is to get a goal, to understand why do I want to do this, understand where I want to go to. After you have a goal, get buy-in from the school first, the personnel, the principal, get buy-in by showing them the numbers so they can understand why they must promote this. And I think what's very important then to get over to action is to have an action plan. So if there's someone that's accountable for the project, with maybe a small team, and if there's an action plan with names and dates and things that must be done, that's the only way that we're going to start and get going. And then also with marketing, it's so easy. I think Robert's team make it so easy because they provide a lot of the marketing material already. And we also we are here in the provinces, so the schools can just contact us. We are more than willing to help and sit in with some of the meetings and help those teams just to get some structure and get going.
No, thank you very much. And baie dankie dat jy heeltemal tweetalig is. But I think the important thing is, yeah, it's like any new project. It does take a bit of a while and a bit of pressure to get the momentum in. But once the momentum going, I mean, let's use the pancake example again. How long did it take for pancakes to become successful at schools? It took a long time. We weren't around when they first started. So it took a while for people to say, oh, we're going to sell pancakes and make money at school. And they probably didn't do it in the beginning. They probably said, no, it's not going to work. And it probably took a while. Now it's such an institution that we're not looking beyond it. So I think that's really what I'm saying as well, is work on that team, get a team enthusiastic about the process, and get it running into the process. With regards to the competition, the sooner you start, if you are not already on sim4schools, the sooner you can get to that magic target in October, because that's the big target to look at from that side. So that would be just from an outsider looking at it from there that we need to look at. Thank you very much, Liesel. You're welcome to stay. We won't throw you off the podium here, but you can put your camera off if you want to. If you do want to stay here, you can carry on smiling like you have been. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your input from what's happening in the field there as well. I want to go to a few of the questions and just answer them. There's a question from someone who says, can they have a copy of the presentation? We will be sending copies of the presentation with all the contact details that we've dropped in the chat box. Robert en myself so 'n bietjie gepraat, ons wil nie te veel goed in die chatbox insit, want dan luister mense nie en dan verdwaal hulle op die skerm op 'n ander plek. So we wanted to try and just keep it a bit focused so we can run through there, but we will be sending you a follow-up email 24 hours later. You'll be getting an email with regards to all the details, but we have also dropped some of those details in the chat box as well. And then there's a question here, does your organization have marketing banners, gazebos that they can use for school functions to promote the competition? I don't know who wants to jump with that. I wouldn't like to answer on your behalf.
I'll take that on. Yes, we do have gazebos and banners, and that we can give schools to help with athletics or any other event. Obviously, there's a limited number of that, so the first come, first serve. And also what we prefer is for a school not to say, listen, okay, we want a gazebo, but we want to keep it for the year. If you can maybe keep it for a month or something, just to give another school also a chance to use the gazebos and banners and all of that. So we will create a way for you to easily ask for it, or you can just send me an email. And then, as I said, first come, first serve. We will, if you're far away from Johannesburg, we will courier it to you. If you can then just after you've used it, just courier it back to us. We will appreciate that. But yes, gazebos and banners and all of that is available for you to use at schools. Even if you have a school event like I don't know, song evening or a play or whatever, or parents evening or whatever, and or you need a sponsor for something, then you can approach us. It's not, we can sponsor you, maybe not with cash, but there's other ways between combinations of cash and data or whatever. We can make a plan, but feel free to contact us and let's discuss it. And yeah, we always come up with some solutions to help you.
Okay. Thanks very much, Robert. There was a question, there's a question that's just come through as well. But before we go there, I just need to say, personally, I've got 2 of these sim4school cards that I'm using, one in my tablet, one in my personal phone. I'm just waiting for my other contract supplier to service provider to run its due course, and then I will be free of anything else from that side. So to me, the big advantage was the unlimited data or the non-expiring data. It was a real game changer in our family. We've got post-teenagers, and they've also sit online a lot, so it really has been worthwhile from there. Okay, there's a question that I just want to ask. Did we mention the cost of data? I don't know if in a nutshell you can mention the cost of data. I think that information is available. And then the other one is, would the registration be at the school, or can the member of the PTA or the SGB do the registration? Where does the registration process lie? I think that's what the question is. So data costs and registration process.
Okay, fantastic. I'll jump in on the first question just around data costs. Okay, so we've got bundles ranging from R1 all the way to 349 Rand. So we have bundles from R1 to 349 Rand. We currently have a few specials running. The top two favorites are 25 gigs for 349 and 10 gig for 199. Both of them don't expire. Then we also have data bundles where you can buy a gig for 19 Rand. And you can also buy a 1.1 gig that never expires for 49 Rand. So if you go compare it to any other mobile network, such as Capitec Connect, who also does have bundles that don't expire, sim4schools has the most affordable non-expiring data and airtime rates in the country currently. And that's a fact. You can go compare it to any other provider out there.
And we prepared to put that on record as well. I've had a look at that as well, so it really works well. Okay, registration process. Robert, do you want to grab that one?
Yeah. The registration process is easy. Anyone, whether it's a teacher or a parent association, doesn't matter. Anyone can register on behalf of a school. Obviously, if a school register, prefer only one person from that school register. Otherwise, we have a confusion in terms of all the numbers and stuff. But yeah, it can be anyone. It doesn't have to be a teacher.
Okay.
Whoever the school wants to make responsible, because the person that registers that's most probably the person that we're going to contact and talk with and try and drive the project with.
Okay. Okay, folks, that's the length of the questions. Thank you very much for your involvement. So I'm going to wind down today. Normally, we would say, here's a list of our provincial managers, and I think I've still got our CEO on board, so I might get into trouble for not saying that today. Oh, hang on a sec. Here's another question. Let me just grab this one quickly. Sorry about that. We have registered, okay, someone wants to get a breakdown of data bundles and costs, and I think Michael is answering that directly. We have registered and sold a few cards. We haven't launched our parents yet, but we have big plans. We have recharged with data a few times, but haven't yet received any commission. Is there any minimum monthly spend before payout happens? So maybe we need to just say, how does that work? Let's just briefly look at that. And then I'm going to be closing off the questions, folks.
Now, the commissions are starting with paying out. Some of the schools have already received their commissions, but it will be paid on a monthly basis going forward. Okay. So it doesn't matter what, even if it's a cent, it was probably still send you. The way it works is at the end of the month, we send you a report of your commissions and usage. And then with the report, we send you a purchase order. Then you will invoice us, send us an invoice based on the purchase order, and we will pay you into your bank account.
Oh, that's great.
Normally happens around the 7th of the month.
Okay. Oh, great. Person just says thanks. So as I was saying, and I'm probably going to get into trouble, I'm not going to flout our provincial managers' details. I will send them to you, and you can get hold of them from our website. But you can also get all the details that you need with regards to the Sim4School project on our website. So if you go to www.fedsas.org.za, you'll see a drop down that you'll be able to get the information from that site. Also, any of you that are receiving communication from our provincial managers, in their address signature at the bottom of their emails, there is a link that goes through into the processes. So you don't necessarily have to get hold of a provincial managers to ask them about how it works, but they do have the information as well. But please have a look at that information and get that information. And the sooner you get started, folks, the sooner you get to those numbers. I do have to say, and I'll be very honest, Robert, when we first heard about the project, we had a discussion and said, what happens on an Excel spreadsheet is not really what happens in life. But we're seeing it happening in life now as well. So the Excel spreadsheet conversion is now coming into life. And folks, let's get on board with this. Let's promote it. It's like anything. You need to get momentum going. It's not going to happen by itself. But once it rolls, then there is that passive income that's coming through, that ongoing revenue that really helps the school that then operates in the processes from there. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your involvement. We are running another session on Tuesday next week. So look out for that information. We'll also send that on the follow-up email. If there are any other schools that you think you need to tell about this, or any other people from your governing bodies or your school management team who want to hear it from the horse's mouth, then get them to attend on Tuesday next week. We'll be running another session just to promote this process and the competition going forward. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.